Welcome back, and today we are carrying on the hunt for Midas, who is still managing to elude us somehow. And the first thing we'll have to fight down here is a bunch of archers, who for some reason I just stand still for by here. But we need to get a certain distance back from them to actually hit them, otherwise it'll hit the bit of rock. And there's a few more in the distance over there. We should take them down because that switch of the door is actually timed, and it's just easier just to get rid of them. Which is quite annoying there with the getting hit by both one after the other. But there's some health there if we do end up taking a lot of damage. So now we just want to sprint on over to the doorway. And we're greeted with the fellows with the shields. And they're pretty easily taken care of. I mean, once you've got rid of the shield, you can just poke them to death then with the arms of Sparta. And as you're going along as well, more will start spawning. And it's actually not really much bother because I find when they have their shields up, they're easier to just deal with and evade because they're slower and they're less aggressive. So if you do struggle fighting these guys, you're actually better off trying to just destroy one shield at a time, which is quite advisable for hard mode. But as you see, I actually took quite a bit of damage there. And I think I'm close to an upgrade. Because the game now is just throwing red orbs at you. And this here is a golden chest, which we cannot open ever, but on the PlayStation 3 version there's an achievement for trying to open it for 1 minute. And as you can see, it's just not gonna open at all, but the Cyclops looks pretty cool in gold. Ready to pounce. But I think this is the most gold stuff I've seen so far, which Midas has done. I wasn't sure if I'd actually gotten this achievement, so I was actually holding down just in case. But well, I might as well try and clean up any trophies. So once I finally let go of the chest and moved on with my life, we can fight some more fellows down here who, again, they're pretty aggressive, but the poke attack there when you do all three moves is so handy. And the actual sweeping of the attack is just nice to hit everything around you rather than just one target. So I can upgrade my blades for Fina now to max level. So now they're incredibly strong, and all it is now is the Thera's Bane and the Arms of Sparta. So I'll probably end up using the arms a bit less now, just because the blades are a lot stronger. And they glow now as well, which is nice. So I think opening this chest actually gives quite a good amount of orbs. Yeah, I always seem to forget how climbing works in these games. You have to. I always think you can just jump through, even though you can't do it. And here I ended out because I actually did die jumping across these, so I thought that wasn't good.
My beautiful daughter.
And now we get to use Midas to help us get up the lava waterfall. So here we have to escort him to the lava waterfall whilst taking on dogs, which it isn't too difficult, but it can be annoying because he can move back pretty quickly. Although I feel like at this point I should have maybe died to him and see while the actual if I do actually get turned to gold and whatnot. So with him knocked out again, we can keep carrying him before more wolves spawn. The actual jumping on the back is quite a nuisance. But as long as you keep on the dogs, stop him from getting too far away. And then we take him up here, we can leave him to Kratos. So Midas has a pretty shitty fate. And at least he got his wish to die. And he's permanently going to be cased in this waterfall here. Which we can somehow climb up. But with him out of the way and this path opened up, which just happens to be the right way we have to go, we can carry on our journey to heading back to Atlantis. Well, what's left of Atlantis after Kratos just wrecked the place. There's a couple of, I'd say, maybe one or two difficult sections coming up now with the fighting, where it can end up taking quite a bit of time, but my parrying and whatnot at this point in the game was quite on form. After, when I was watching the footage back, I was surprised how well I was doing. And we get a nice execution on them, so we can get health if you needed some. And the circle move's always good for creating some space. And before heading up the ladder, which I finally decided on doing, because I know this is the right way, head back down here. And there's another upgrade chest. Get a phoenix feather in there. And we get, I think this is the final upgrade now for the phoenix feather, for the magic. And once we're up here, the first thing you should do is just get up here and take down these archers. It's cool because none of the enemies from below can get up there, and it just means you've got less to deal with down at the bottom. Apart from when you just get shot with an arrow from like up close. As you can see, we're rolling in red orbs already. And the old circle grab in the air is still just as good, just for throwing them down a bit. I do think it's a pretty big pity the whole Pharaoh's Bane sort of stuff never really came back in either God of War 3 or Ascension. Although Ascension is just a completely different thing altogether. Because I know there are some sort of like elemental weapon things. But that's for another video, I think. But we're very, very close to upgrading the arms of Sparta all the way. And there we go. And still got one more upgrade left on it, but it does a lot better damage now, and we can shoot our spears a little bit quicker than it looks like. Probably would have been better off trying to parry these, but it's nice to have the increased damage so they get taken down a bit faster. And we get a balance again, the first time in a while. And here's a section now which is quite difficult, especially on hard mode, because there's just lots of things going on. Because I think this might have been as far as I got to on hard mode, because it just kept kicking my ass. So once that's destroyed, we get to fight all of these guys. So I've sped this up a bit because it does go on a while, and a lot of it is the same thing over and over. But I've not sped it up too much. But the main thing is just to avoid the birds as much as you can, circle, take them down, and then just keep planting charges on the Cyclopses, who are good enough to attack each other as well. And the invincibility you get from the circle takedowns are great. And using that bit of magic there for health regain is really nice. But I think you'll find out in this or on the next part of the game where basically it can only take so much green orbs from an enemy before it'll only do damage instead of giving you health. So that's one Cyclops down, and another one comes back. Oh. But with the birds gone, it's not much of a trouble. Although I do seem to be getting sat down quite a bit. So I'm not sure whether the if I had the fully upgraded arms from Sparta, using them from afar might have been a decent idea. But like I say, I mean, it probably wouldn't be very interesting to watch. Seem to be getting grabbed quite a lot in this part of the game. Usually I'm quite okay with Cyclopses, but I find this area is quite narrow. And I'm still finding myself getting hit all the time. So it looks like I've started to double evade away. But with this last gentleman out of the way, we could head down the left. Probably could have done with using magic a bit more there, but maybe I'll learn one day. We head off this little detour there before we turn left. We can pick up another Minotaur horn. You can friendly fire here and kill your own man, which I unfortunately do twice. But yeah, just throwing them the birds is just really easy to do. But we can head on this boat now.
We are ready to set sail.
Kratos knew that deep within the raging abyss lay the answer to a question he was not yet prepared to ask. Was Deimos still alive?
So, at this point in the game, it feels like we're back at the beginning. Very similar. Starting on the boat, but I do find this a little bit more difficult, even though we've got some more stuff to help. But you can kill your own dudes for some health if you need to, and then you've got the Scourge of Erinice as well, if you want to get some more health and do damage. But the idea here is basically just to stay alive long enough to get to Atlantis. As you see, my on-form parrying has gone to shit. But just as long as you can get on their case all the time and use the what's it called? The Blades of Athena for that extra damage. I seem to be doing a bit better using the blades rather than the arms. Yeah, they move where they knock you on the floor. It's a pretty big nuisance, I find, but it's a bit more easily telegraphed, unlike big and then poked off the side of the screen. Now we always get nice executions from them. And we can still tackle them to the ground. It's not so bad when there's only one left. It just looks a little bit cooler as well. And that was a nice little boost of health there. And it's actually quite satisfying to throw the spears at the birds, because it's bit more interesting than just throw circle killing them to death. Well, I think these are harpies, not birds. But now we get a mix of everyone. Circle grab there is nice, they just hit everyone in a circle. But with the birds out the way, it makes these guys a bit easier to take on. And that was the one of the new moves there, the L1 in a circle there to charge with the shield out, which isn't too bad because he sort of keeps ramming them rather than tackling them to the ground. So as you can see there, it just knocks them over, which is quite nice. So as you can see, I mean, this part is pretty tough. I mean, even on the normal. So now we get random bits of lightning like appearing on the ship every now and then, which can also do more damage. Like that there. You can see when it's going to land because the little white or blue circle just comes up for a second before it does. So you do get a bit of time to react. Probably could have done with using all my magic in this, but especially the horn to freeze everything. But I'm close to the end of finishing this boat ride. But the Scourge is just pretty useful to actually get some health. I probably end up using that all the time on hard mode at this point in the game. And it's good as well because it just puts everything next to each other. We're finally back in Atlantis now, after this quick time event. Gotta hold on for our life on the boat, as long as we can. So I'll leave it there and let the rest of the video go, so I'll see you guys next time.
You have desecrated my kingdom! I shall not forget this, ghost of Sparta! You will answer for this affront!